You've been offered a contract to publish your board game, but what should you expect? How much input will you have over the look of the game? Will the publisher change the name? And most importantly, can they mess up your rules? I'm Adam Porter. I'm a board game designer from Wales, and in this series of short videos I'm taking a look at licensing contracts between designers and publishers. If you're finding these game design videos helpful, please share them with other designers and don't forget to subscribe. I'll preface this video by clarifying that I'm not a lawyer. I have no expertise in contract law, but I have signed a dozen or so board game contracts and I've rejected a few more, so I've got a bit of a feel for what they tend to contain and things to look out for. That said, if you have any queries or concerns about a contract which has been proposed, please do get appropriate legal advice before signing. Don't blindly follow my advice. I've selected a few short passages from contracts which I've seen and I'm going to share them with you. In this video, I'm specifically focusing on creative control and credits. The publisher has the right to choose the name of the game and change the artwork of the game. The name or trademark of the game will be owned on the territory by the publisher. So this is a pretty standard clause. It'll be worded slightly differently in every contract, but essentially it explains that you will not get to select the name of your game, and you won't get to choose the artist or art style either. Notice that in this case, the clause refers to a specific territory. Your publishing contract will specify which parts of the world it covers. All the contracts I've signed have given the publisher the right to distribute my games worldwide, but that isn't always the case. If you look at a game like Modern Art by Rainer Knizia, you'll find that there are many different versions with totally different presentation in different countries around the world. Knizia is a very influential designer with some evergreen titles. He can afford to negotiate hard with publishers to ensure that he gets the best possible deal, and this results in arrangements like these. For most designers, having one publisher representing you in all regions is simpler, and it saves pitching your game to multiple publishers across the globe. The publisher shall solely decide of the game's format, its packaging, the production volume based on the market requirements, and its selling price. However, the author shall review the game's layout and packaging. Despite the fact that the publisher is able to make all decisions on artwork, name, presentation, and even the theme of the game, in most instances they will run all of these decisions past you and enter into friendly discussion. I should say, this doesn't always happen. The contract doesn't allow you much control here, but most publishers are courteous and they want you on board. Some contracts formalize this arrangement to some degree. The publisher is free to choose the design, the presentation, and the equipment of the game. The publisher will inform the author in good time, however, and give due consideration to his or her suggestions. It isn't always easy though. If you don't like the direction they're taking, how much are you going to push back? Contractually, you're not in a powerful position, but you are likely to feel strongly about your own design, so it can be hard to back down and trust the publisher against your own instincts. Of my 7 published games, only 2 kept their original title, Zooligans and Throne. The others have all had their names changed. Pikoko was originally Ruffling Feathers. Doodle Rush was Inky Squid. Big Bazaar was Make It Snappy. All of these were changed to make them less language dependent. Compromat was previously Agent 21, but this was changed to avoid copyright issues with a popular series of spy novels that I wasn't aware of. The publisher has the exclusive right to adapt all or part of the game into any genre and any format, and to make use of these in any way, as well as the right to improve or modify the game using any third party chosen by the publisher. None of my games have had their themes changed by a publisher, but this is always a possibility, and you need to be open to it. Or make it very clear before signing that the theme is non-negotiable and have it written into the contract. I suspect that this might limit your chances of publication though. Few publishers are going to want to relinquish that control. After all, it's their money on the line, and your game is going to have to fit in with their catalogue of games and their marketing strategy. I'm aware that a small number of designers have started to request the addition of a clause to state that the artwork and setting chosen by the publisher will be considerate of inclusion and diversity. If this is important to you, state it up front, and a publisher may well be willing to include it in your contract. I recall making it clear to our publisher Helvetique in the development of Compromat that it was important to my co-designer Rob Fisher and I that there should be equal representation of men and women in the game. Helvetique could not have been more accommodating. The author shall be given 24 hours to review the final version of the rules before they are printed. I'm frequently surprised by how late in the process some publishers write the rules. I'm often given a very short window to look over them. On occasion, I've spotted significant rules changes at this stage without any earlier discussion. And I've been asked for feedback despite the fact that the rules have already been translated into 8 or 9 other languages. It's no surprise to me that rules errors creep through into final rulebooks, and it's such a huge oversight. The onboarding process is pivotal to a game's success. If the rulebook is bad, the likelihood is that the game is never getting played. Board games sell themselves because purchasers share them with their friends who might go on to buy their own copy. But the chain stalls if the game never leaves the owner's Kallax shelves because of a shoddily written rulebook. Each unit of the game shall bear the author's name or alias. This is the minimum credit that you should expect. Some contracts will provide more detail. The name of the author will appear both on the box and the rules of the game. Or perhaps you'll be lucky enough to have a very detailed clause like this. The publisher will ensure all units of the work will bear the name of the designer on the box top and in the rules where possible, and when not possible, on the back of the box. In the hobby market, it is standard practice to state the designer's name on the box and in the rulebook. In the mass market, you might need to be a little more flexible about this. Many of the mass-produced games in toy shops around the world do not feature the designer's name on the box. In this instance though, I would still suggest pushing for a credit in the rulebook. Your past games are your CV, your resume, and your work deserves to be recognised. So to summarise, if you want a publisher to fund the production of your game, to take all the financial risk, to promote the game through their established channels and highlight the game as one of their own, you're going to have to relinquish a lot of control. If you don't want to do this, then licensing to publishers is not the route for you. You might consider self-publishing instead, perhaps through a crowdfunding site like Kickstarter or GameFound. But regardless, I hope you found this brief insight into board game contracts useful. If you want to find out how to get a contract in the first place, you're going to want to watch this video by clicking the link.